Hey gals, and I'll say hey guys too, because I've had a number of daddies tell me recently, hey, I watch your stuff too, and you only ever talk to the ladies. So I wanted to say hey guys and gals today. We're here for Phoenix's 11-week update. I know as I'm recording this, you guys actually haven't seen his 10-week update, and I think I missed the week before that because we're having major internet problems here. So I'm hoping that within the next week or so I'm able to get those resolved, but with the holidays, getting things figured out is time consuming to say the least. So anyways, hopefully you'll be able to watch the video before this one, before you end up watching this one, but because of how I'm going to get them uploaded, I don't know if that's going to happen or not. So I'll just do an update. But last week I talked about getting Phoenix's tongue tie revised, which we did end up doing with the ENT in town, and I do feel like it has made a difference. So I'm glad to have done it. I don't think it's completely fixed everything. He still clicks some when he nurses, but overall, I do feel like he's nursing a lot better. He's a lot less noisy when he's nursing. Yeah. So I think that it's been good. And as far as the procedure itself went, like I said, there was, he cried for a couple minutes. He was a little bit cranky afterwards and a little cranky in the couple days after. Never had any bleeding. I did notice that he drooled pretty profusely, especially the couple days right after, but even throughout a good part of this week. I think in the last couple days it's tapered off. It seems like it's tapered off. So he's got a little bit of drool here now, but I'd say it's more back to what it was before. But I feel like the drooling was probably a direct result of the revision. So just sharing that in case any of y'all are considering. And so again, I feel like it did benefit us. As far as nursing goes, yeah. I'm not having any pain. I am still pumping most days, at least once, so I've got probably like 80 ounces in the freezer at this point, just because I'm pumping every day, because I'm not pumping for little baby W like I was pumping, but when I was pumping like 20 ounces a day or more when I was pumping for him, and so I'm kind of gradually tapering it down. And occasionally I don't pump, but most days I do, and most days I'd say I get around 8 ounces or so. So I've just been putting that in the freezer, in freezer bags just in case. I don't really think that I'll need them. I suspect what'll end up happening is I'll either end up thawing them to give my little ones to drink, or I'll just put a note up asking, does anybody need milk donations, like on Human Milk for Human Babies, a Facebook group local or something like that. But for right now, I'm just storing them. I had kind of a tough decision, I guess, that I had to make. If y'all remember, I told you that I was on call for 2 births this month. One of the births, the mom ended up deciding to go to the hospital because her membranes had opened, and it was like 24 plus hours without any labor beginning, and she just wanted to go to the hospital and get antibiotics, and ended up having a really nice natural birth at the hospital. So that was good. But obviously I didn't go. And so the other mom that I was on call for, and I'm really kind of bummed for this, but I respect her, she decided that she didn't really want me to be there with Phoenix, even though, he'd be on my back, or I could even take Cassidy with me to kind of babysit. They have a pretty big house, so she could be on a different level with Phoenix and actually maybe even help with the mom's own kids. But that's her choice and that's her decision. So I had to then make a decision, which was, did I want to go to that birth and leave him? It's like, that mom is like 45 minutes to an hour away from me. So it's like, I'm looking at like a 2-hour round trip just to get there. If we had somebody close to them that like I could leave, say Cassidy and Phoenix to hang out at their house, like if grandma happened to live close, or I happened to have a friend that lived close to there who would be cool with that even in the middle of the night, so I say grandma, then I might consider it, but really I can't imagine it at this point, because again, even though this mom births quickly, say I have to be there for 4 hours for her birth, which doesn't seem unreasonable given how quickly she births. So, but still, if I'm there for 4 hours, 5 hours, that becomes like 6 and 7 hours with the commute, and it's just, I just can't do it yet. You know, I just can't do it. So I made the hard call that I would not be on call for that birth. So like I said, I'm bummed about that. It's also a little stressful because I need numbers, which is one of the uncool parts of being a modern midwifery student, is that you have to get numbers to satisfy requirements. I mean, it's for a reason, but it's also kind of crummy because it's like, it can get really stressful. So my numbers I need to have, because I have a primary in March, and I need to have had a certain number of births before I can count her as a primary. Otherwise, she just counts as an assist. And I've only missed one of her appointments. I've done all of her appointments. I feel like I have a really good rapport with her. I'm really looking forward to her birth, and I would really like to be able to count it as a primary birth. So anyways, I have to get numbers, which basically means with this mom, from this month, I have to make every single other birth, and I've got like back-to-back-to-back births from the end of January to the beginning of March when this mama is due. So again, that'll be kind of crazy, but we'll see how that goes. My plan for those births is probably going to be to take Cassidy with me. I have to talk to her about this too, but I think she'll probably be okay with it, especially since I'll pay her a little bit. But to take her to be there to be with Phoenix, and that way I feel like even if he's cranky, she'll be able to have him in another part of the house and just walk with him or something, which usually he calms down if somebody's walking with him, and hopefully he would just be kind of cool to play with. And also many of the moms this is not their first baby, so she can help even with their kids too. So anyways, that's kind of what's going on in birth life. I've done a couple prenatal appointments, and I did my end of the year review. I can't remember if I talked about that. I do think I talked about it on last week's video because I went to it right after getting his tongue tie revised. So that all went well. The holiday season's been good for us with the family. Things are good with Phoenix. He's definitely still really social, really happy most of the time. I feel like his naps haven't been as good. I guess it's just because things have been crazy with the holiday season and everything. We were only going to take 1 week off from homeschool. I've decided to take 2 weeks off because I had planned to take a week off in late February, early March for Purim, which is also good because I do have all these births, but I just need another week right now. And this is, I can fit it there. And then we'll take 2 weeks off at the end of the next term because we do 3 12-week terms for our homeschool. And that will also coincide with Passover season, so that will be nice. So it means like a 12-week stretch from now until then, which I think by the end of then I'm going to be starting to feel a little bit stressed. But at least right now, it's making me feel really good to know, okay, I've got a week ahead of me that I can do planning and that I can, really work on catching things up, and also a week that we can work on getting Phoenix's sleep back on track. Scott and I decided this week to do a little bit differently and maybe see if Scott could get Phoenix to go down for his afternoon nap and get used to that. And yesterday was the first day we tried. It went okay, not super well. He only slept about an hour, but today he slept for longer. I would say probably about an hour and a half. Scott took a nap too, so Scott's in here napping. Then Scott got up, and Phoenix was awake then, but he kind of, talked himself back to sleep. And he slept probably for another 30 minutes. So I feel like that was pretty good. So my hope is to get it to where he's taking a pretty consistent afternoon nap. But yeah, are you talkative? He's very chatty sometimes, really chatty. And I'm really pleased, he often will sit just like this with me and either talk. Are you talking to the baby on the screen? He'll either talk or he'll just sit and look around, so that's a lot of fun. And he likes, he's starting to do even more where he'll play on the floor for a little bit and that sort of thing. Yeah. You have a lot to say today. You have a lot to say. I've been looking at his hair, trying to figure out if I think I don't think it's thinning out up here, but I think it might be thinning a little bit on the sides. So I'll be interested to watch that over the next few weeks. He's in really big clothes, so he's in like all 6-month size clothes. Got baby clothes down, and got out the 6-month stuff, and then we had a client that gave us some clothes, which was good. So he's in all these big clothes, and I know I said it last week, but again, if you haven't watched the video last week, because I don't know when I'm going to get them all up, but our washing machine is broken. We did have the repairman come out, and he figured out what was wrong immediately. Fortunately, Maytag is going to pay for the parts, but because it's just a little outside of warranty, we have to pay for labor, which it's reasonable, and we really like the appliance repair guy. He did work on our dishwasher before too, and is just really nice, and he's really great with the kids, which I appreciate. So I mean, I'm not going to begrudge him his labor, but he has to replace 2 parts, one of which being one of the tubs, so the labor cost is going to be a little bit high. But because the washing machine is kind of out of commission right now, we've been using disposable diapers. And one of the things I do like about disposables is you can put them in these little sleepers, and they're nice and trim, and then they have the little footies, and they're just so cute. They're just so darn cute. I put them in mostly gowns when we're using the cloth diapers, but it's been fun to put him in the little sleepers with the disposables, and he's just so cute. He's just so cute. So, otherwise, things are going really well for the family. I'm sorry I haven't done a lot of family footage. We're going to try, and I'm still constantly trying to work and figure out, like, how do I do that? How do I get more of that? Because I know y'all really like seeing it. Hi, I'm talking. One of the things that I did bring to share with y'all is I'm always reading. So I've been reading this parenting book, and this book has really helped our family a lot, so I wanted to share it. I've even shared some principles from it on the email list, my email list, which you can go to trustbirth101.com to, if you aren't subscribed there. But and I've shared some in Smart Mama Happy Baby classes. I've gotten a lot of Smart Mama Happy Baby members. Things have gone really well for the business this month, which has been a huge blessing. Between the Black Friday special and then the holiday special, it's been a nice month, which is always relieves stress to have a good month. And I've gotten a lot of new mamas in the Smart Mama Happy Baby support group, so we've had lots of questions every week. And then, of course, I always have lots of questions in Mama Baby Birthing. So. But I've been sharing some of the insights from this book with my Smart Mama Happy Baby mamas. And it's just been working really, really well for our family. One of the things that I feel like we've had trouble with is communication. Like, even for Scott and I to talk about things when they're stressful, and even for the kids to feel like they have a voice, that kind of thing. And this book really lays out ways to make sure that communication happens. And I think it's just been really, really good for our family. One of the things that it recommends is like family meetings and kind of one-on-one meetings with your kids, and also a couples meeting with your spouse. And all of those things are good, but I think that the couples meeting has helped the most. One of the things that she talks about is setting a timer. And so Scott was initially pretty skeptical, and it's been hard because when things are really stressful, you tend to just kind of snap at each other. But I told him, I was like, I want to try this, and we're going to set a timer for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and when the timer's up, we'll be done. And I think that made it like, okay, well, I can tolerate that. And at first, it was more difficult, but so last night was, I guess, probably our sixth one. We've been doing them once a week. And it just went really well. Like, I feel like we can really talk, and we can look objectively at issues without feeling defensive. My goodness. So, and we're really, we've learned a lot to help the kids and everything. It's just been really nice. A lot of it feels really, she's got a lot of stuff that feels really scripted, like the language to use and what to walk through and everything. And I actually really like that, because I feel like when your communication isn't all that great to begin with, like, it just tends to be defensiveness and arguments and stuff. And so having to slow down enough to say, okay, what am I supposed to do? like the steps to following an instruction that she goes over are to look at the person who's talking to you, have a calm face, voice, and body, say okay to the instruction or ask to disagree appropriately, do it immediately, and then check back. So those are the steps to the instruction, to following an instruction. And all my kids can say those now because they've heard us say it so many times. But, you know, but having to actually stop, like do a pattern interrupt and think through that is enough to help you think, you know, that I need to communicate. But anyways, so it's been really helpful for the family, so I thought that I would share it with y'all. I guess it doesn't really have too much to do with Phoenix right now, but it has to do with our family. I'm trying to think, is there anything else going on with Phoenix? I'm really enjoying my character, or my carrier, the Medai carrier that I got. Even though I don't know how much I'll end up using it now to carry him on my back at birth, it has been super helpful for me out and about. I find I often reach for the sling at home because it's faster to put on, but when I'm out and about, one of the things I love about that carrier is it's like crazy snowy weather now. Cold, cold, cold. It was like 1 degree when we got up this morning. And I love that carrier because I can fasten him into it, get the carrier all tied up. And I have a baby wearing coat, which I got when Galen was a baby, so he's like the 5th baby to go through it. 4th baby? 5th baby to go into it. But once that carrier's on, I can kind of pop him in and out without having to refasten the carrier, which means I don't have to take my coat off when it's cold. And that's been really nice. And the carrier just gives a lot of support and structure, and it's very versatile for either my back or my front. So it's been a really huge blessing. While he's still, I guess I could probably try putting him in the ergo now because he is like the size of a 6-month-old, but I've always waited until they're like 4 or 5 months, and I mean, he's pretty strong too, as you can see, but you know, I just want to make sure he's developmentally ready for the ergo, and so that carrier has been super, super nice. I've really just appreciated it so much. So that and the sling are what I've used for him, which is interesting because I got the sling when Asher, who is now 14, was a baby, but I hadn't used it a lot with the last couple babies, but I've ended up using it a whole bunch with Phoenix just because it's easy to grab around the house, and I can't use one of the soft carriers with him just because he's so big. So anyways, those are the carriers that are working really, really well for us. We're still doing well with ECing, catching poops, and not as much pees. I tried actually putting him on the little potty seat reducer because I was thinking that I might try and get him used to that, and he did not like it. That could be just because he's not used to it, but I think I'm going to keep trying because I was thinking it would be really nice to have a little one who kind of gets used to that. Oh, and he's getting grouchy now. So I think that what we'll do is I will show you the snow so you can see what I'm talking about, but then otherwise we'll go ahead and finish up and say goodbye for this week and see, hopefully we'll get something going on with the internet in the next couple days and can get all of these things uploaded for you. But I hope that you guys are all having a blessed holiday season and a happy new year. And I will show y'all our snow and then say goodbye. So there's our snowy yard. We definitely kind of have the winter wonderland effect going on. So anyways, y'all have happy holidays and a happy new year, and I will talk to you soon.